News when you want it with Bloomberg News Now. I'm Amy Morris. And there's your closing bell for this Thursday on Wall Street, which saw a rebound in stocks as oil fell after President Trump canceled planned strikes against Iran. We're going to get into all of that just ahead. But first, let's bring you those closing numbers. We do it for you each day here at Bloomberg. The S&P 500 gained 127 points. NASDAQ gained 640 points. The Dow gained 929 points. The 10-year Treasury yield at 4.45% and the 2-year yield at 4.05%. And traders are no longer fully pricing in a Fed rate hike this year. They've pushed it to January. Now, SpaceX has made history with the biggest ever IPO, selling more than 555 million shares at $135 each, and has a market value of nearly $1.8 trillion. Bloomberg's Ed Ludlow.
$135 a share, 555.6 million shares. They'll raise $75 billion. What I'm told is that this was Elon Musk and Brett Johnson, the CFO, setting terms. And while the bankers will make a lot of money, they had very little to do with setting the price. It got set pre-roadshow, and it stayed that way.
Bloomberg's Ed Ludlow says there is massive oversubscription to the tune of $100 billion, and he expects a crazy open when SpaceX starts trading tomorrow as people scramble to buy and then start to sell right away. SpaceX will start trading tomorrow on NASDAQ under the ticker SPCX. President Trump now says he has canceled planned military strikes against Iran, a stark reversal that came just hours after he had vowed to hit Iran very hard and threatened to seize its oil infrastructure. Bloomberg's Tyler Kendall says Trump posted on social media that there could be a new agreement.
There's caution here until we actually see a finalized agreement, but Bloomberg News had reported earlier today that the diplomatic negotiations were ongoing and that we were seeing Qatar actually take a more meaningful role in those negotiations.
And Iran's semi-official Fars news agency says Iran has not approved any text for an initial memorandum of understanding with the U.S. And oil prices plunged. WTI crude oil down to $86.50 a barrel. Brent crude right at $89 a barrel. President Trump says he is nominating Jay Clayton to be the next director of national intelligence. Clayton has been serving as the top federal prosecutor in Manhattan and was chairman of the Securities and Exchange Commission during Trump's first term. Senate Majority Leader John Thune expressed confidence that Clayton could be approved by the Senate quickly, in part because he's been through the confirmation process before. This after pushback over Trump's selection of housing regulator Bill Pulte to serve in the role on an acting basis. Democrats have refused to back an extension of the Foreign Intelligence Surveillance Act unless President Trump reverses his decision to name Pulte as acting DNI. The deadline to extend FISA is midnight on Friday. Initial jobless claims rose to the highest since February, potentially reflecting volatility around school summer breaks and the holidays. Initial claims increased by 4,000 to 229,000 in the week ending June 6th, and continuing claims also rose to 1.8 million. The current level of initial jobless claims remains low by historical standards, and it also runs below year-ago levels. That suggests labor market momentum remains firm. The Supreme Court has ruled the 1940 Investment Company Act does not authorize shareholders to sue over bylaws and management decisions, shielding funds from some investor lawsuits. The justices voted 6-3 to block activist investors from suing 11 closed-end funds, including some affiliated with FS Credit Opportunities and BlackRock. The High Court said enforcement of the law is left to the Securities and Exchange Commission. That's news when you want it with Bloomberg News Now. I'm Amy Morris, and this is Bloomberg.